Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. I regret to inform you that the feminists have found Pewdiepie and his wife Marzia. Now, before we get into the related tweets, I want to make sure you guys understand how serious this video is. There is a major health crisis going on right now, one that has lasted for well over a decade, that involves an illness that has no cure. It is chronic. Once you get it, it never goes away. This illness is, of course, PDS, or better known as Pewdiepie derangement syndrome, and similar to other diseases like Rev derangement syndrome. Basically, these people develop a hate boner for Pewdiepie, and it never goes away. They make it their whole personality, and we are seeing that happen once again. So in case you guys didn't know, Pewdiepie recently moved to Japan, and in this article and other videos on his YouTube channel, he's talked about how this move to Japan has been great for his relationship with his wife, and his wife who is also expecting, and also his mental health. It's allowed him to take a break from daily grinding of content, and he's at a much better place mentally. Seeing this person happy, seeing Pewdiepie happy, well, how do you think some people on Twitter responded? Well, of course, they are angry, including this self-described feminist with this quote retweet with 45,000 likes, saying misogynistic, porn-addicted men and their obsession with Japan is not a coincidence. Well, thank you for your input, self-described feminist, with the handle abort your son. So, I would love to see any sort of proof for this misogyny claim and this porn addiction claim. Like, do you know his browser history or something? Are you like on the inside? But this is a very weird claim. So number one, based on their handle and other things they're saying, this person is a misandrist. That's hardly surprising. But this whole connection here between misogyny, porn addiction, and Japan, basically saying that Japan's culture caters to this, you're starting to borderline on xenophobia, right? Like hating on Japan and being racist towards the Japanese is way too common on Twitter. But this feminist would go on to clarify their points by saying, in quotes, speaking for Pewdiepie, saying, "I prefer Japan's culture and the people's hospitality. Just get to the gist and say you enjoy living in a country that has a booming porn and hentai industry and where penalties for pedophilia and rape are lenient." It's kind of like that meme you see on Twitter. It's like the person says, "I love waffles," and then someone comes in and is like, "What? What do you mean you hate pancakes?" Like, no. Pewdiepie didn't say any of this. This is all your own racist headcanon. And really this whole thing of identifying Japan with one trait, and that's being porn, yeah, the xenophobia claims have been confirmed, okay? And of course, just by virtue of what they're saying, that Pewdiepie would be interested in Japan because they're lenient on pedophilia, or this person believes they are, that's a pretty serious thing to say, don't you think? So at this point, we've got misandrists and racists. Is there anything else? Well, let's take a look. So this user down here asks a very reasonable question. Wait, how is he misogynistic or porn addicted? Where our feminist here responds with, he made fun of Amber Heard last year and he watches porn. Oh boy, it's one of those people. Yes, the Amber Heard apologists are some of the most insane people you'll ever see on the internet. So basically at this point, let's remind ourselves what we've checked off. We've got misandrist, racist, and a domestic violence apologist. Awesome. You're looking really great. This Twitter feminist is not surviving the allegations, that's for sure. But I love that last part too. He's a porn addict because he watches porn. I got bad news for you guys. A couple hours ago, I had breakfast. Therefore, I have a food addiction. That's pretty much the same stream of logic they're using to call Pewdiepie a porn addict. This whole thing is so pathetic, but this feminist wasn't the only one attacking Pewdiepie. In fact, we had people like this attacking Pewdiepie and his wife, Marzia. And I got this screenshot, the fastest screenshots in the West, by the way. I got this right before they deleted it. It says, not to mention how his wife talks in a baby voice 24/7. So let's take a quick look at this person's profile. Oh, look at that. Another inclusive feminist. Isn't that great? Yeah, feminism is when you attack and belittle other women and infantilize them for the sound of their natural voice. How Marzia talks is her natural voice, and the fact that you think there's something wrong with that because you think she's trying to appeal to people like Pewdiepie with her voice being the way that it is, it's so strange. Like, there is no more hateful people towards women than these feminists. I swear to God. Like, they are worse than the actual misogynists. But as you can see from their profile, speak up for Amber and hot girls stand with Amber Heard. It can't just be a coincidence at this point, right? But yeah, so it's just another one of those people, and it really, the Amber Heard scene, it's looking like a cult these days. And yeah, terrible thread here, and I feel sorry for PewDiePie, but again, he doesn't even have a Twitter account, so he's not even seeing these people screeching. They're quite literally yelling at the wall as this guy goes off and continues to live his best life, and they're going to keep coping and seething over it, and honestly, I think that's a fate that they deserve. But moving on, while we're speaking about annoying people on Twitter, I just wanted to cover this quickly because a lot of people were tagging me in it. This random user decided to quote retweet an artist who did a gender-bent version of one of the Spider-Man characters from the Across the Spider-Verse movie. And yeah, it says, boring, yawning, sloppy, lazy, to the tune of 32,000 likes. 32,000 likes, 32,000 people supporting just randomly hating on an artist with no valid criticism and just bullying them for no reason. Like, first of all, this art is fine. I think this looks good. Like, I maybe it's not someone's particular preference in terms of style, but I think any halfway reasonable person would look at this and go, yeah, that takes some talent to make this. And this person just quote retweets with no insightful criticism and just says boring, yawning, sloppy, lazy. And clearly they're just mad because it's a gender-bent character, but it's really sad to see so many people putting a like on this. It's just pathetic. Like, here's my counter argument to this. I disagree. Like, that's the level of criticism you have here. And it's really just bullying. That's all it is. It's just an excuse to bully people. And you know what? I see art, and most reasonable people see art every single day that they don't like. Maybe it's not their personal preference, but they don't go out of their way to talk about it, let alone direct people to harass the artist and be just cruel and mean for absolutely no reason. And of course, there was some backlash, but the original poster here would respond by basically saying that the person who made the artwork is also sexualizing literal children, like they've drawn artwork of Gwen from Ben 10, and they used this example. I don't even have to show the uncensored version, because in that picture, you can see it just from here. Gwen is fully clothed. Like, she's not even doing anything sexual, and yet this person's using this as, like, proof that there's some kind of a creep. It's too much, man. Like, these people on Twitter are just absolutely too much. But, you know, bullying of artists for no reason and just all around toxic behavior is just expected from Twitter at this point. And I'll leave a link to the original art if you want to give it a like and consider giving the artist a follow. But yeah, that's all I got for today. A lot of annoying people on Twitter, but what's new? But please let me know your thoughts about all the topics we covered in the comments section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.